So you just started your Digimon journey and you've jumped onto Digimon Super Rumble. But you can't read Korean. You're English. Like me. So it's very scary in terms of not really knowing what any of the text box say. It can be frustrating. I'm here to give you a few tips that will hopefully help you out. If the information does help you, please like, comment and subscribe and share the video so more people can get this information, because there aren't that many guides in this game and this is to help people out. In this video, I'm going to show you the best course of action to take when starting off your adventure on Digimon Super Rumble. So immediately, we want to keep following the yellow question mark, as this is the main story quest. Okay, so we're going to keep following the yellow question marks, because they are main story quests. And I'm going to show you how to get all three of your starting Digimon early at the start of the game, which is going to be a big help. Now, this is just giving you a layout of the area. Essentially showing off how pretty the game looks, which is pretty nice. Now, I'm going to run back over here real quick, because we're following the main quest line for the time being, as it's very important to do so. Okay, so this tree, once per day, will give you either a fruit or an item. So, UK time, 4 PM each day is when the game resets in terms of dailies. Things that you can do each day, such as daily quests, etc. Okay, we head down here. Now, as you can see, these Digimon right here are all running around, which is kind of cute, if you ask me. They're all having a great time. So, there are different Digimon that you can get at the start. I don't know how you get Gomamon. I don't know how you get Gabumon. But I do know how you get Agumon and Tentomon. So, speaking to Agumon now, if we follow his tutorial, he's going to ask us questions. Now, obviously you can't read Korean, so it's quite daunting. If you want Agumon, I will show you how to get that Digimon, because that's the choice I'm going to go. If you select the bottom one constantly, that got me Tentomon the first time I played this game. If you want Agumon like me, top option, and this option here, third option, 2CH, that's to guarantee you getting a Agumon. So, the reason I wanted Agumon is because Agumon is a vaccine. It's a guaranteed vaccine, I know how to get it. He's very slow, which is the downside to Agumon. But he is a vaccine, and vaccines are king at the start of the game. I'll go into why later on. But for now, we got Agumon, which is great. Now, if we speak to Angemon again, he will go into explaining some information. Now, you won't know what any of this says, because obviously you don't read Korean like me. But it is trying to explain things to you. This essentially was not there originally for me when I first started playing. So having some of the same type of Digimon will give you some bonus stats. For example, as you can see here, that'll give resistance, 6% and something else. But yeah, depending on what I have, will give me different things. If I have them in my lineup. Obviously, I only have one Digimon, so I can't get any of the buffs right now. And it's annoying me because that is blocking all the stats right now. But if we follow this, it will explain to you about upgrading skills. Now, you need these blue squares to upgrade skills. Do not click this button, because that allows you to skip the dialogue and you will not get this free stuff. So even though I only have a small amount of bits, it doesn't consume any bits for me, which is good early game. Now it's going to explain to me about the Tetris system. Do not go ahead of the tutorial because you'll have to close down the game because it won't let you do anything else. Make sure you wait till it tells you what to do. For example, now it's telling me to do this. Okay. So I got speed of 2%. I think this is guaranteed every time because it's what I always got. But this will give my Digimon bonus stats. Boom. Now Agumon is 2% faster, which isn't much while his stats are lower, but it'll start to go up more the higher level we get. We can keep spending money and getting more squares to fill this in. Ideally, on Agumon, his line, if you do want Metal Greymon, it's random what you turn into. You don't get to choose unless you have an item specifically for it. Agumon is much stronger physically than intelligent-wise. Now, I'm going to explain to you. This is attack. This is physical moves. For example, if you see this blue fist, that is a physical move. This is not a physical move. This is a intelligence move which scales off your int. As you can see, Agumon has a much higher strength than int, so he's a lot better physically. This, I'm not sure if that's defense or resistance. I always get confused between the two. This is definitely speed, though. We are going to go all the way up here. If you want to know how to activate your mouse, you can press Alt, which will switch between you moving around. As you can see, now I have control of the mouse. I used to always do this just to get access to my mouse, pressing escape, because I did not know that at the time. I was doing that for the longest time, it wasn't even funny. So you also notice down here, this. So this is your daily logins. You get 50k right at the start because it's the first day. Pretty much every single time. And this is the amount of time you spend on the game. 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 1 hour 30, 2 hours, 3 hours. And these are items which are going to be useful for you. One thing I also recommend not doing is after you've claimed them, also make sure you do that. One thing I recommend not doing is spending all your money. You might think, oh, well, now I've got a bunch of bits. Fill these up, right? And try and get perfect stats. You can go up to a maximum of 4%. Now, I can spend a little bit and hope I get something good. I didn't at the moment. I got some defense, which isn't really important. I kind of want attack or int or speed. Preferably speed because Agumon is slow as hell. So having speed early would be great. Now, it's tempting to keep rolling and hoping I get more speed blocks so I can fill these with speed. Don't do it. Save your money for now. And there's a reason why. I made the mistake of spending all my money right away. And we're going to get to an important point soon. I'll explain later. So we're going to do this blue question mark. This is Pokemon, which shows you the Digivolution system. So when you hit level 15, you can Digivolve for the first time. And there are different percentage chances on what you can turn into. Like so. Doing this quest. Okay, we've been on the game for 10 minutes. If I want to actually find out the percentage chance, instead of waiting until 15 to find out, I can click that, and then just double click on Agumon, and it will tell me what the percentage chance is. So 75% to turn into Greymon, 10% chance to turn into Tyrannomon, or Dark Tyrannomon. Very important. I could carry on with Velocmon. I'm not going to right now, there's a reason why. I'm going to speak to Piximon. Okay, so speaking to Piximon, continue his dialogue. He's going to teleport you away soon, after you continue just a little bit of his quest line. I'm going to show you how to get your second starter as early as possible. Okay, so this is fast travel. I'll go into more detail about that soon when I get a second fast travel point. Well, actually, I can just go into it now, actually. If I want to fast travel, I can right-click on this. Press M to open the map, by the way. If I right-click on this, it'll allow me to fast travel to it for 1,000 bits each time. you want to look for that symbol on the map in each area you go to so you can unlock fast travel points. I can't go to this area of this map at the moment, so I'm further in the story. So I cannot get this one currently. But speaking to Piximon now, after explaining the fast travel, he's going to teleport me away. Okay, I made a mistake. Luckily, with the power of editing, you didn't see it. So, we'll continue this a little bit. We'll go up here, which will give you the layout of the area. It wasn't a big mistake or anything, don't worry. It was just me going ahead of where I should have been. So we're going to carry on all the way down here. And this is going to explain battle to you. Now, obviously, you're not going to know what any of this says. That's essentially the timeline. So if you reach the center before the enemy does, that's when you go. When you have multiple Digimon, it determines the turn order. Okay, that's your physical and your special skill. This is the one that scales off int, like I said. So it's telling me to use that skill. I click on the Digimon. You can also just press a keyboard binding of W and then 1 to select that target. If you want to know how you do this, the little line underneath your escape button on your keyboard will change the camera angle. Preferably, you want to be at a good camera angle, you can see what you're doing. This is speed up, by the way. Sorry, escape. This is speed up. This is to pause. This is to switch your Digimon if you have Digimon you can switch with. If you can have 3 in a party at once on the field. So it's going to tell me to attack them again. Okay. So if I click on the Digimon, it will show the health they have. So you can gauge how much damage you're doing in terms of ability and everything. This is just explaining about escape. You can't actually click that, so don't think you have to click it. You can't do the escape right now for the sake of the tutorial. This is what this button does, so it allows you to switch between party members. So say I had a bunch of Digimon in the back, and I had 3 here, and I wanted to switch them. I could then click, and then click, and it would swap them. Okay. So if you press Alt, it will bring up the HP bar above their head. So you saw I did 26 there, right? So we did 26 damage with our claw attack. 21. As I said earlier, Agumon is stronger physically than intelligent based. So he's going to do more damage with his basic attack. Now that I know that information, it'd be more prudent to use Q. If you press space, you can pause the battle at any time. So say you want to guarantee what move you want to use. You can also click this button, which will speed up the battle, so it'll go much faster. And then I press space again, which will unpause it. These are consumable items which can boost your stats. That'll give 10% attack. That, I think, restores HP. And the other one restores SP while you're in battle. Okay. So when you defeat an enemy, you will get points. So you'd probably want to keep beating these right now, right? Don't do it yet. There's a reason why. Also, if you notice this is something you can loot. It makes a weird noise. There are a certain amount of collectibles on the map. You collect them. And each area has its own set amount. Like you can see. If you find them, you get rewards. I'll explain that soon. But right now, we're going to run all the way to the other area. And skip those battles for now. I'll speed it up. Okay, so as you can see, there's another telephone booth over here. This is a fast travel point. To activate, you have to walk inside and press F, like I did with the one at the start. In case of ones that aren't lit up, for example, I haven't activated these, so that is darkened. That you can see the contrast in the different colours of blue. We don't want to fight these yet. These are way too strong. And we're not doing any fighting just yet because we're getting our second Digimon right now. So you'll notice this blue exclamation mark. These are side quests that you can do at any time. I'm not going to select it right now. For now, we're just going to run all the way this way. I already did this before speaking to Angemon again and doing the battle tutorial. That was a mistake I made. So, good thing through power of editing you didn't see me do that, you know? But anyway, then when you're running all the way across the map for no reason. We're going to run over here now. Now, as you can see, we got your boy, Elecmon, stood here. And he will explain about Digivices, but he's not who we want to speak to at the moment. We're running down here for the purple question mark. Interestingly, there was Agumon in the main square over here who you spoke to. They've removed it for some weird reason. So now you just run straight to Elecmon instead of running to Agumon over there. The reason why I ran over there because I was looking for the Agumon. And I was just like, hang on 1 minute. So, before we continue on the island, this is Swanmon. This is why I said save your money. You don't know what Digimon you're going to get in terms of actual coming out of the egg that we're about to get. But one thing you do want to do is you don't have to buy one of these because you get one automatically, but you can do for the sake of everything. You want at least 3. I've bought too many. I should have just bought 2 of them because I get one for free anyway. But I have 3 of these. Important. I'll explain why. Speak to Elecmon. And he's going to teleport us to Digimon Island. Hell yeah. Okay. The area you get in terms of looks will be random every time. This is the first time I've gotten a nice one. I really like it, honestly. But it doesn't matter what the location looks like. They are all the same. It's just, it looks different. Okay? So this is trying to explain to me about the tree. Every hour, this tree will refresh, and you have a chance of getting either a Digi-Egg from the tree or a fruit. These are premium fruit, unlike the ones you can buy from Swanmon outside. These will give more food and more stats. Okay. So now it's trying to explain to us about the sake of eggs. So follow the tutorial. It's telling us to do this. It's telling us to put the egg in. Right click. Boom. Okay. So for the sake of this, it's going to let you speed up in this instance. So you can hatch it now. Okay, so we got a baby Digimon. Very nice. Okay. Continue through the tutorial bit. Now we're going to speak to Elecmon real quick. We'll get to the baby in a moment. This is telling you can turn your Digimon back into an egg. So say you got an Digimon you didn't want, and you wanted to re-roll and hope you get something new. Or maybe you got the wrong Digivolution. Say my Agumon turned into Tyrannomon, I didn't want that. I could turn it back into an egg. The only thing is with turning it back into an egg is I do not know which Digimon I am going to get. It's completely random. But this is essentially showing you that you can revert it back. I've now gotten a green egg, which will produce a baby Digimon. I'll make a full-on guide about baby Digimon in another video. But for now, we're getting the important part across about getting your second Digimon. So, we're going to place our good friend here. This one is guaranteed 1 minute every single time. The other eggs are usually 3 or 6 hours, and Sometimes you can get guaranteed eggs which turn into guaranteed things, but they are very rare and far between. The tree can also give you an egg from time to time. It's random whether it's green or blue, just like the tree outside. Only this one refreshes every hour. So this will give me a baby Digimon because it's a green egg. And this is an in training, because this turns into a rookie. A baby is the stage before. This will take 3 days. I'd have to fill this up using the toys we bought from Swanmon. For 3 days, giving 3 of those toys to max out the fun or training points. And obviously, depending on what food, will determine what stats we get. Now, these are the options. Ideally, a Renamon would be great. Elecmon isn't bad, it turns into Leomon, but Leomon doesn't have an ultimate at the moment, so not really what we want after the 3 days. Gotsumon, I've not really gone through that line, I've not really gone through that line. Salamon is very nice Digimon, but Salamon is imp-based, and so is Renamon. So you'll be wanting to go for intelligence. So you'd want to either give this baby Digimon peaches or coconuts. I don't have them on me right now, but if I do not feed my Digimon, it will die if I don't log on for a day. So that is an issue, but I will get to that in the video where I actually explain it. I'm not doing that right now. Okay, we got a Fanbeamon. So this can turn into a range of different Digimon. This is the first time I've had Fanbeamon. I've had Gaburimon, which is brilliant. I've had Mushroomon. I've had Gotsumon. I've had Biomon. You really don't want a Biomon because we get one for free guaranteed. Right now, this Digimon isn't able to give us what we need. We are going to go back by pressing that there. You want to click that to go back and forth to and from the island now, because if you click on Elecmon, you cannot go back through that. So, activate your mouse by pressing Alt, click that, it will teleport you back to the island. Now, I know I want Int for my Digimon. Now, this isn't a guide, I'll go into the guide properly, but essentially, these both give intelligence, both of these. So, buying 5 of these to feed isn't a bad shout. That's why I said don't spend all your money at once, right away, even though it is tempting. So, I keep doing escape to bring it up, because that's what I originally started doing when I first started playing the game, so I didn't know how to activate the mouse by pressing Alt on the keyboard to switch between the modes. So, now we'll continue the tutorial for you. So, press Alt. Boom. Okay. So I'm going to give you some bell peppers in this instance. I can't read that text because it's Korean. But you have to do it multiple times. Digimon does run around. You can click that whistle to call it to you. We'll give you another bell pepper. Now, it's not always guaranteed that you will definitely get your stats from the fruit. Sometimes it just doesn't happen, even if you want it to, and it does suck. But it is a chance thing, but if you want the chance there, you have to give the right one. So I've gave it int items, because I'm hoping this will be an int Digimon. In order, for the sake of inventory space, we're going to use the 1 instead of the 3 that I have, because I'm not going to get any more of those. The reason why it got separated into a separate stack, by the way, tradable and non-tradable. So if it's a tradable item that can be traded with other players, obviously it's going to have different. So this also lowers your food, by the way, whenever you do this. I'll go into more detail in the actual video guide, so subscribe if you want that. I would have to do this 3 days to get that to 100. When you get further in the game, you can get better toys, so you can get it in 2 days. 4 PM each day is when it resets for UK time to be able to feed them and give them fun items again. This can go up to 300. And we will go back out now. We've done all we can, so we've got no choice but to wait 4 PM to be able to feed them again. Now it's also when the tree resets up there, so we can get more stuff from that tree in the centre of the Village of Beginnings, Town of Beginnings. So now we got Fanbeamon. Fanbeamon is a virus. Viruses are good later on in the story, but not as good at this point, but that does not mean it's a bad Digimon. It is actually a very good Digimon. It just takes a lot of investment to get the most out of this Digimon, unfortunately. But a free Digimon is a free Digimon. So we're going to speak to Elecmon, right? Now, in speaking to Elecmon, do not rush ahead of the tutorial. Wait till it tells you, otherwise you do not get these free stats. We click. Wait till it tells us. We click. Click. When it tells us to, so we don't rush ahead. Now, this is going to give us some free stats. If that lights up, it gives a random stat. Doesn't light up, no stat. And it's going to keep doing it multiple times. We get stats or we don't. We could get really unlucky and get no stats. Or we could get stats. So, it's a random chance, unfortunately. So as you can see, these failed. There is a way to turn them back to blue through the use of items, but obviously being at the start, you don't really have that luxury. You know what the great thing is, though? As long as I do not press F right here, I get to roll again for free without needing an item. So, ideally, you'd want some attack, right? And speed on Agumon for free. So I just got some speed there. Okay, we didn't get anything good. I got 2% attack. I can do better than that. If I wanted to, I could sit here and try and get, like, tons of attack for a long time. I'm not going to do that. I just want to make sure that I get a decent amount of strength and speed. If I could get at least 4% or 2% in each, because of how slow Agumon is, that'd be great. 4% attack, beautiful. Speaking of, I'll take it. I'll take it, that's fine. I could keep rolling. I'm not going to. You can do that in your own time. But we got 4% free attack. So, if I wanted to, I could keep rolling for that, but I need items, which are called 0 units. Now, I don't have 0 units to show this off, so you can get them in-game just by playing. You don't have to buy them from the cash shop, but I'm just going to show you. This is a broken 0 unit. So, this allows you to essentially change the stats you got. I'll go into detail in a full guide, so subscribe for that. This is to also change stats, and that's to roll for random stats if you haven't done it before on a Digimon. This one is to re-roll certain stats and hopefully get better ones, and I forget what that one does, but I'll explain that at a later point in an actual guide. But we're not going to do that right now. So now that we've got 2 Digimon, now we will run back to the area we was at. Or if I wanted to, I could spend 1 grand and fast travel, because I've activated that point, so I can get there faster. You don't have to do this, it's just what I'm doing for the sake of the video. Okay, so now we're here. We will follow on the main story, because this is probably what you want to do. You'll level up a bunch while doing so, and I'll be back once I've done this part of the story. Actually, I'll go much further. So, when I'm back in the Town of Beginnings, follow the yellow question mark so you're back in the Town of Beginnings. Don't worry about the blue for now. You can do them if you want to, but don't worry about them too much. But, for now, we will basically do all these quests, the yellow ones, stick to the yellow ones. It's important, because that is the path to getting your Biomon. One important thing to note, should one of your Digimon die, by the way, you need to use these items to get them back to life, by the way. So, the Digimon in the first part of your party will automatically revive on its own. We want to try and get to 15 as soon as possible, but we want to get our Beelmon as well. So, we're not going to go to 15 right away. We're going to grab Beelmon, and then we'll go for 15, and we'll get our champions. As you can see, that was a close one, because Grand Quagamon was strong against my Fanbeemon. So, my Fanbeemon almost died. Unfortunately. So, luckily it didn't. If you want to heal up, you use these consumables down here. That's also how you restore your SP. You'll get a bunch of these for free, so you don't exactly have to buy them. But your Digimon will restore their HP and everything when they level up, just for future reference. Another important thing to note, by the way, if you are 11 levels above any Digimon, one of the Digimon in your party is 11 levels above, you will no longer get items from them. You will only get bits, and less bits than you would if you was within the 11 level above bracket. Because that's the way they've got the game, so you can't just have a super strong Digimon, just have it running rampage and farming 50 million of weak Digimon so you can get tons of bits really easy and stuff, and items. You want to fight stuff within your level range because you do get blue squares from time to time, which can be used to level up your skills like you saw in that tutorial earlier, where my Digimon skill went up. So fighting these is a chance to... there it is, right there, that blue square, the Tesseract. So now that I have this, I can now increase the stats again. So fighting Digimon within 11 levels of you, as long as you're not over 11 levels above them, you want to try and fight Digimon around your level bracket, so you can always get items to level your skills up. They go up to a maximum of 10, to my knowledge. I haven't gotten the skills to level 10, I've gotten to level 9. At that point, if you fail, you have a chance of going back down to level 8, which happens to be so many times on my main, it's not even funny. But, essentially, you want to level these up because it gives you an easier time. So, fight Digimon within 11 levels of you. Another important thing to know is this section right here. This determines who's in the front and who's in the back. So, that's very important for certain reasons. Digimon in the front will most of the time be the one the enemy targets. So, for example, if I had Fanbeemon up front, Fanbeemon is weak to this Gizamon. This Gizamon can, due to its typing in terms of element-wise, it's very strong against my Fanbeemon. So I would want Agumon to be in front and taking the brunt of the force, which gives my Beemon chance to not basically get beaten up. For example, if I had them both the same, it's a lot more likely to just go for whatever it's stronger against. But let's say I switch the roles real quick. So, you're now in front, you're now at the back. This is going to be a lot harder, because the element type of Gizamon is stronger against my Beemon. See how it said great? So my Beemon is going to take a lot more damage from the Gizamon. So I'd want Agumon to be in front for the sake of not having this happen and potentially having my Beemon get killed. Okay, let's talk typing for a moment, if that would disappear, thank you. Okay, so Agumon is strong against wind. I think that's wind anyway. It's weak against water, so if I fought Shellmon on the beach, Shellmon's going to do bonus damage to my Agumon. Gizamon, using physical attacks, my Fanbeemon is weak to physical moves. That's what I have. Really don't want it being in the front line, so it gets hit less. But it's strong against Ice-type Digimon, which is very nice. So bear that in mind. Okay, so my Beemon is struggling quite a bit. Which is unfortunate. I didn't get lucky. Don't forget though, you do have 4 character slots to re-roll. if you feel like you've got a bit of a bad hand. Obviously, my Beamon is kind of getting torn up. It is very frail. It'd be better to train it when I actually had stronger Digimon that could carry it better. Through levels, advantages and stuff. But right now, Beamon is really struggling, as you can see. So, I could potentially reroll if I wanted to, and I'll get a different Digimon. But we're almost done with this section, which is good. If we get rid of these Mushroom-mon... Oh yeah, if you ever see yellow text, that means you got a crit, by the way. But we have defeated Mushroom-mon, which means we've done this bit. Okay. Now we're going to run over here. Go to list question mark. Speak to Pixiemon. Yup. Okay, now it's going to want us to go back to the village of beginnings. Now, if you try and run here, there are going to be level 12 aggressive Digimon in your way. Agoromon. So, these are level 12. There are a bunch of them on this bridge, and they will aggress on you. They are red. If it means red, they are aggressive. They will always keep running at me. No matter what level I get to, they will always stay aggressive. Now, if you're not confident you can run through here, like I'm not because my Beamon is really weak. It's just really struggling. You can just fast travel, don't forget. Ha ha. Now what you gonna do? You know? Boom. But the only issue is this bridge as well now has a Goromon in it. So it wasn't as slick as I thought it were. So now we're just trying to get across, and this is a problem. We are going to try and flee. Please flee. We failed. Okay. We will get across this bridge. As long as Agumon keeps tanking, we should be good. I really don't want Beamon to take some damage. Okay, it's not that bad. It's not taking much. But yeah, my Beamon was really struggling. The fact that it's weak to physical moves is a really big problem because every enemy in the game will use physical moves. So, yeah, it's a bit sucky. So, Fan Beamon will always have to be in the back line for the sake of safety. Okay. Now, Beamon is good physically, I suppose. Also, red enemies will not give any items, only experience. So, if you think you can just go AFK and farm them once you're strong enough and get tons of money and stuff, it's not possible. They've already got rid of that option being a possibility. Because I'm guessing people were doing it at some point. No, well, people are just going AFK and just getting rich. So you'll only get experience from red enemies. So sometimes you have to make the choice between, do I want to AFK grind once I'm strong enough? Or do I want to fight enemies and actually pay attention and get the items I need to increase my Digimon skills and get the items from them and stuff. So the reason why we just skipped all this stuff and all the blue quests and everything, got down here, we now get our third partner, which is a guaranteed Beelmon. Regardless of what you get, you always get a Beelmon. It starts at level 3, but now is a good time to start grinding and go for level 15 for those champions. So I will be back on the actual account. I am actually going to somewhat use a little bit from here, we would basically just fast travel back, carry on doing quests. You could do the blue quests and stuff, but if you actually keep doing the blue quests, it could be very useful for getting some extra XP, some extra levels while you're at it. And when you continue on more through the yellow quests and start to get into the next area, you'll then unlock dailies, which will give you purple spheres for your champion level and whatnot. So that's probably what you want to aim for. Okay, so this character was a good character to start off on. So Beelmon is Vaccine. Unfortunately, every single time I've evolved a Beelmon at this point, I've gotten Kokatorimon despite being 10% chance and Birdramon being 85. So hopefully this time I'll get lucky and actually get a Birdramon. But that's if I don't get unlucky and get the 10% choice, because Kokatorimon does not have an ultimate at the moment. And it's also data. So anyway, triple Vaccine is king at this point of the game, because doing the story, you're going to run into more viruses than any other type at the start. I can't say past Infinite Mountain, because that's where I've currently completed, which is where I got my ultimates at level 50. But later on in the game, I do know that viruses become very useful, because I had a lot of data types show up. Datas have it rough at the start of the game. Having a data can be really sucky if you don't have somebody to carry it. So this is a great start. I got Celamon out of the egg at the start. And obviously got Beelmon from doing the story.